I think Kyle Tucker is going to be the bigger guy, which it's kind of weird to say given how stacked the Dodgers lineup is. He would be probably the best player on 27 teams, and he's probably going to be like the fifth best guy on the Dodgers. It's absurd, an absolutely ludicrous contract, $60 million a year. The Blue Jays actually offered a pretty substantial deal for him too. It was 350 million over 10 years, and the Dodgers almost doubled it, less than half the amount of years. So they clearly knew that that was their guy. I think if the Dodgers had one like weakness, if you can even say that, in their lineup would be the outfield, and Kyle Tucker is going to be the superstar that they signed. Regarding Bo Bichette, though, it's really a weird signing to me because obviously we all know that his bat's there, but his defense is less than stellar. It's significantly below average, and I think they're going to put him at third because you're not moving Lindor off shortstop, and you already traded for Marcus Semien earlier in the offseason. So I think they're committed to him playing third base. And with his defensive issues, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up like being a full-time DH later down the line, or if they try to move Semien somewhere else or shift it around. I don't really understand him playing third base, but I still think Kyle Tucker is going to be the better guy in the lineups.
If Bo Bichette was a better defensive player, somebody who is capable of playing third base, would you shift your opinion to him being a bigger move, or would you still keep it at Kyle Tucker? Because, like you said, Kyle Tucker is a great player, but he's like the fourth or fifth best player on the Dodgers team. I don't know if he's going to have a standout impact with that being the case. So, would you switch sides if that was the case with Bo Bichette being better defensively?
I don't think so. I still think Kyle Tucker is just that good. He had a bad year last year with the Cubs. He had a really bad like end of the summer and got into a slump, but it's Kyle Tucker. I remember last year in 24, before he got hurt, he was the MVP favorite, which I mean it was like April, early May. That doesn't really hold a lot of value necessarily, but he was still the guy for Houston for a lot of the time, and that's why the Cubs went and got him. They traded for him to be that guy because they were planning on making that push. I mean, maybe he didn't perform as well as expected in Chicago, but you're still going to imagine that Kyle Tucker is going to be the Kyle Tucker from Houston and maybe the first half in Chicago. Yeah, Bo Bichette's more of a slap the ball around kind of guy. He's not a big slugger, which there's room for that in baseball. You're going to need your contact guys. I mean, Bo Bichette almost led the league in hits last year, almost after missing like a month and a half, which is kind of absurd. But Kyle Tucker, he's good on both sides of the ball as well. I think his defense is better than credited for, just because his bat is also that good.
Matt, who you think will have the bigger impact on their team going forward, Kyle Tucker or Bo Bichette?
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with Mason here. I think Kyle Tucker by Justin has a little bit of an edge over Bo Bichette here, just because I think Kyle Tucker is a little bit of the better all-around player. Like Mason said, Bo Bichette kind of leaves a little bit to be desired on the defensive side of things. And because the Dodgers are already so stacked, like you said, Kyle Tucker will be the best player on a number of MLB teams. He's going to be like the fifth or sixth best player on the Dodgers, which is insane. I liken it a little bit to like when DeMarcus Cousins, who was still a little bit of his prime, decided to join the super team Golden State Warriors a little bit. The Dodgers did have a weakness before. Now it's like they really don't have weakness now with Kyle Tucker joining this already stacked lineup. So as good as I think Bo Bichette will be for the Mets, I think Kyle Tucker in like an overall grand scope of things is going to benefit the Dodgers a little bit better than Bichette will the Mets.
I think Bo Bichette has to have a bigger impact on his team than Kyle Tucker needs to have with the Dodgers. I'm going to say it again, beating a dead horse here. Kyle Tucker is going to be the fourth or fifth best hitter in that lineup. I mean, they're still dependent on Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts. So even though he's there for big money, he's not going to have that much pressure to perform right away like a Bo Bichette has, who the Mets, they need somebody to step up in a hitting department. They had a down year last year. They missed the playoffs.